Uh, where do we start? They're going to get a tax cut bill, yes or no?
I mean, it certainly looks like they're going to get it. It also looks like John McCain won't be here for the vote.
He's gone.
I'm not sure if
Back
Thad
to
Cochran.
Arizona, I mean.
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
be in Arizona, back in Arizona. Yes, he's gone there. It's not clear yet to me if Thad Cochran will be here for it either. He had some kind of medical treatment on his nose, apparently. So if those two senators aren't here, that means that Republicans have 50 members
They
here.
can't lose one.
They can't lose a single person. And I think they've got it. Bob Corker was kind of squishy for a while, but now it looks like he's a yes. Marco Rubio was kind of squishy for a little while, and now it looks like he's a yes.
Susan Collins was squishy.
Yeah, so
and
it
now
looks
she's
like all
a
the
yes.
squishes have now been sorted out. So it looks to me like they have the votes for it. You know, nothing is a done deal till it's done around here, but I think they've got it, and I think they want to do it really fast, and they want to go home.
Right. So because they also have the deadline for funding is the end of the week, right, or the 22nd. Just what, Friday?
That's Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah. So if they're going to do the tax cut, one would think they'd have
God,
to
that
get,
was fast.
yeah, right.
That
It was
little
2
stop-
weeks.
Yeah.
But they'd
Yeah.
have to get the tax cuts done before they do the continuing resolution on the keeping
That's
the government
the plan.
running, right?
That's the plan. They want to get all their business done, and then
Okay. So
keep
do
the
we
government
have a
funded.
bill?
A tax bill? The last I saw, there was a 1,400-page bill that had come out. Now, I don't know if that's the final bill, but I think that was the conference bill. I could be wrong, but I think that's what we're doing now. Is
And
this?
have members had a chance to read it?
Well, that bill came out late last week, so today's Monday. So
If you count the
conceivably,
weekend, right?
I guess they could have read it over the weekend.
Right. Isn't there a rule that, or didn't they adopt a thing that the 3 days, it would be up for 3 days when people could read it before they would?
Typically, it's 3 business days.
Yeah, right. Not weekends.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is a bill. There is text now. They want to vote on it really, really soon because I think part of the thinking here is to hurry up. As soon as the text is out, just vote on it because there's a lot of stuff in here that's not great. But if you just vote quickly and leave town and it's the holidays, this is classic Congress. You do something big before the holidays and you get out of town, and then people don't really the hope that by some of them is that no one ever really knows exactly what they just voted for because they just want to be able to say they passed tax reform. The details can come out later, details like, oh, look, this really helps. This cuts the corporate tax rate and helps big corporations. But look, it raises taxes on the middle class and on working families. So, those are the kind of things that will come out in more detail after they pass the bill. That's how things tend to work around here.
Right. And there is that what you say just puzzles me because objectively, there's no doubt that the big winners in this tax cut bill are the big corporations with this permanent tax cut and the wealthiest of Americans. And no matter how you read it, because any little maybe temporary little cut in taxes for the middle class disappears in like a couple of years. And everybody who studied this says within a couple of years, people making under $35,000 or under $75,000 will be paying more in taxes. And in the meantime, these tax deductions that people used to be able to take for student loans or medical expenses or home mortgages and all this stuff are either limited, capped, or cut off. So that this is going to really negatively impact the middle class.
Yeah,
right?
this bill is
Are they
not.
just hoping that nobody ever discovers that?
What they're doing is they're trying to move really fast, and they have their bullet points that make the bill sound good, and they're just trying to do this now and leave town.
But hoping that
And there's a lot
nobody
of
ever
spin.
discovers that they're not telling
Well,
the truth?
there's certainly articles that are out there
Yeah.
that have been out there talking about how bad this bill is for middle class and lower income families.
Across the board.
Yeah, and that's very clear. But the question is, do they care?
And the bill has, the last I saw, 25%?
The bill is extremely unpopular in polling. I think it's even less popular than Obamacare, which, Republicans like to cite statistics on how it polls. Not great, but this bill is polling even worse than that. And but the thing is, they're still going to pass it. And the reason they're going to pass it is because is not because they love the bill. They're going to pass it because they need a win. They need a policy win. It's December. They've controlled Congress for almost a year, and they don't have a single major legislative win. And this bill is a major priority for them, so particularly for Paul Ryan. All he's ever wanted is tax reform.
And this is a once in a generation type of bill.
Yes.
Right? Like this is a sweeping change to how things get done here. And yes, it's super unpopular, but like by comparison, it was pretty popular. But at the time, Obamacare was not super popular, and they went out and they sold it. And I think that Republicans, if that's in their head that they can go out and sell this tax bill and that's what's going to help them, I mean, good luck. I don't know that that's going to work with something like this.
Well, yeah, and also talking about tax reform is not the same as talking about someone's health care, right? It's pretty dry and it gets really wonky versus when you talk about giving someone or taking away someone's health care, that hits home. Yeah. This one is going to be more murky and people aren't going to see the effects of it right away. It's like a slow creep.
I don't understand why you guys don't get this. I mean, as we speak, Ivanka Trump herself is on Fox and Friends selling the tax cut bill. Now, it just happens, right, that she will be one of the biggest beneficiaries of this because the estate tax, she can get up to $22 million, whatever it is.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, this is a
sleep well tonight.
This is a great big bonus also, for the Trump kids.
And one of the biggest
and Trump himself.
Some of the biggest beneficiaries of this bill are also members of Congress.
Sure.
Which is purely coincidental.
I'm
sure.
Like Ron Johnson from
they are
Wisconsin
going to do very well personally because of this bill.
Yeah. Whoa. You mentioned Paul Ryan. So there was a couple of reports last week. Maybe you're one of that wrote this that this is going to be Paul Ryan's swan song. He's always wanted to do this. He's got it done, and he's going to retire. Where's that coming from?
There's a lot of talk that, and he's denying this, but there's a lot of talk right now, and a couple of stories have been written about him stepping down as speaker next year.
Yeah.
And him being burned out, and him not liking the job, and how he never liked the job, and he's just wanting to get out of this for a while.
Well, there was all that BS about he didn't want the job in the beginning, right? He didn't.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to run for it. No, but if you beg me, maybe I will take it.
Yes, and
right?
it's hard to believe that. It's hard to know what to believe with Paul Ryan because don't forget he ran for vice president of the United States.
Hello. Right.
How many years ago?
Yeah.
4 years ago.
4 years,
so
5 years.
he certainly has
now.
ambitions.
Yeah.
And in the case you don't remember. Right after he became speaker, there was this weird series of ads that he made that were extremely polished speaker ads that looked like presidential campaign ads that he was running, and they were just, like the soft lens on the camera and him like laughing with children and saying how like it's a new era as speaker and all this stuff, and it was very unusual for a House speaker to do that. It looked very much like ads potentially setting him up for a future much larger political role. And so his motives are kind of, I'm skeptical that he's just burned out and wants to leave politics for good.
Right.